Mr. Ravinder Singh. Mr. Ravinder Singh, popularly known as the thought leader on smart cities, is a senior industry consultant and evangelist in digital transformation, IoT and smart connected economies. He is the director of Digital Cities Cybersecurity and Healthcare Public Sector, Dell EMC, and has over 21 years of experience in business and technology consulting, enterprise architecture, and many more. Being a certified project manager, IT services, management and enterprise architect, he has an extensive work experience in technology infrastructure, IT service, information security, quality process, LEES certification, and many other sectors. Mr. Ravinder Singh has been recognized as Global 50 Impactful Smart City Leaders in 2017 and has been also awarded as Digital Thought Leader of the Year 2017 and Digital Infra Leader of the Decade 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Ravinder Singh to acquaint us with his triumphant thoughts.
May I now request Mr. Ravinder Singh for his address, please?
Thank you. I hope this is working. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Everybody at the back? Okay. So, I must say something. I'm a bit jealous that today the youth, the students, have an opportunity to know, hear, listen, and go through a lot of the knowledge, what is happening around us globally, a privilege which we never had. 24 years back, when I entered the industry after doing my graduation, we never had these kind of platforms. Youth power today is what is creating India 4.0 and behind. And what I will do is, I will not get more into theory because we have heard a lot. I will try to be more practical and give you some examples of how startups, especially students, have created or are creating a change and transforming this country. And to begin with, let me give you one example. All of you watch movies, right? Especially students. There are only two pastimes we have, cricket and movies in India. Have you watched a movie called Uri, the Surgical Strike? Very good, you should. And I will ask everybody else to actually go and watch this movie. You should. But there's another reason why I'm saying you should watch this movie. Apart from knowing what our army is doing and how India as a powerful country is today responding to all the threats, there is a technology angle in this movie which you should go and see. The way information and data is collected, used by our defense forces to plan and attack is something which this movie has nicely shown. Very few movies actually do this. So, we are a country where 60% of people are still either in rural areas or connected to agriculture and related fields. We've just heard very eminent speakers talking about all inclusion of growth, which is missing. But let me take a small step, maybe a devil's advocate, and say, actually, things are happening on that side. And let me give you one example, because I personally believe that being a 60% dependent country on agriculture, rural, if we are not able to use technology to do something for this part of the country, then we are not successful. If we are using technology only for people living in urban areas, youth, people who are literate, who are able to use WhatsApps and Facebooks, fine. But if you are not able to use technology to lift the life of people who are living in those villages, who are in that 60% of bracket, then I don't think the technology is successful. And let me take one example to show why I'm saying this and how it's happening. If somebody of you know a city in Pune, or somebody maybe from Pune, there's a very famous bakery company, confectionery company called Chitle. Very famous. Do you know one thing? 30 kilometers from Pune, Chitle guys have a dairy farm. And around villages, across that that hamlet, they have got 55,000 cows and buffaloes. Last 4 years, Chitle Dairy uses the power of artificial intelligence, RFID with each cattle to collect, inseminate, and analyze in real-time data to see the milking habit, milk production, vaccination, eating habits, and everything for those 55,000 cows and buffaloes. That transformation, if you can do in the rural and agriculture sector, you can actually make India a better 4.0. And nothing can actually summarize this statement than the term which we coined for this, cows to cloud. A country where we are able to transform the life from cows to the cloud. And that is the real transformation what is happening in this country right now. Though I will be talking more about examples which you may not be seeing on a daily life today, but let me tell you, it's just a matter of time that you're going to see a lot of these things around you, within you. Because when transformation happens, it starts at a very slow pace, and that's what happened to our mobile phones. When it came, for first few years, very few people took it because of cost, because of availability, because of concerns. But once it went to the masses, rest is history. So when we look at transformation, what is happening today all around us, we are looking at some of those basic examples, and I call them basic because as Dr. Hamid said, if we are creating innovation but it does not give any advantage to the people at the bottom of the pyramid, then it's not of any use. So what I am going to tell you today is some examples from our own country, and let me tell you, these innovations are created by guys who are either students or just into startups or very early ages, maybe below 25 years of age. And these are the examples which are actually changing the dynamics, how we work, how we play, how we live, and how we use resources around us. So world is changing. I don't have to repeat or reiterate the fact what other speakers have already said. The world is changing, new technologies, new ways are changing the way this country and this world is transforming. And India is at the cusp of the transformation because no other country has the scale, initiative scale what India is doing. Digital cities or smart cities as we call it. Digital India, Make in India, Startup India, Skill India, and so many of them. So many of them. Fortunately, I have been involved with many of them. Many of them. There's a program called Atal Innovation Mission. Some of you might have heard about it. It's one of the best programs which attacks students at the school level, 6th grade to 12th grade. Even before they come out of school, they may have innovation in their hands when they come out. So human and machine interactions are creating newer ways, newer dynamics, how we live, how we play, how we work, and how we use the resources around us. Humanoids, robotics, artificial intelligence, AR, VR, I don't have to give details about what these are. All of us know, blockchains of the world. They are right now creating a difference. One example I gave you was Chitle Dairy. I can give you examples as we go along. There are examples in villages. There are examples where an 18-year-old guy created a bottle, Dakkan, which has got inbuilt ultraviolet sensor. So you take a bottle of water which is not very clean, and when you carry it, the lid of that bottle keeps on cleaning the water by using ultraviolet radiation. And that product is called Dakkan, obviously. Similarly, there's another guy who is around, I think, 19-year-old. He's created a 50 paisa coin, a coin size of 50 paisa with inbuilt artificial intelligence chip using nanotechnology, with inbuilt self-energy generation and self-energy producing solar panel in a 50 paisa chip. You just carry that chip anywhere across, you can track that resource across the country, across the globe, using the power of satellites, using the power of GPS. So these are the innovations. One of the things which I'm just passing a couple of slides because I don't want to get too deep is the other side of it. In last 10 years in this country, what we have seen is twice jump in the number of people who are adopting these technologies. Today morning, one of the other speakers was talking about how technologies become available and how adoption takes time. Yes, but in last 2 years, if you see, between 2016 and 2018, this is a survey we did across the world. In India, 2x is the number when people have started adopting. And this number will become 5x very soon. Because we are a country, we are very slow to take a new technology, but we are very fast adopters of that. The moment we know the benefits, we just adopt it. And that's what happened with smartphones or mobile technology all around us. This is one example. Example number 1, the power of IoT, power of artificial intelligence, and power of real-time data analytics using a kiosk which you can set up anywhere, in a moving train, in a railway station, in a shopping mall, in a doctor's clinic, in a hospital, in a stadium. Anytime you walk in, you can do 40 parameters of medical tests on these kiosks. 40 parameters. By inserting a credit card, if it's for a business purpose, by using your thumb, it's Aadhaar enabled. You just put your thumb. If you are covered under Ayushman Bharat program, for example, a person, he can get free treatment. So these kiosks, what rightly we call it, health ATMs, like an ATM machine where you go and take money any point of time, any time of the day. You can actually go to this kiosk and do your health checkups, 40 parameters, round the clock, technically without the use of any help, but there's a legal and compliance laws that you need to have a paramedic with it. So you'll have a paramedic standing there and helping you with those tests. This is one example. And this was created by a company which got only 3 people. Let me tell you, only 3 people. Only 3. Now, this is a great tool as far as technology is concerned. But I will tell you one interesting thing about it. More than technology, this is a great tool for employment generation. One kiosk gives employment to one person. And you put that kiosk in a shopping mall, you can actually have a monthly average of 40,000 rupees. A test done already. 40,000 rupees, which means a person can take this kiosk, maybe on a subsidy, on a loan, and generates his livelihood. That's what I call a byproduct of this kiosk. Right? So this is one example. The second example is this. Using the power of wearable, which we use every day. Most of us use wearables, right? Apple Watches or Fitbits or anything. And then we look at this, say, okay, great, I have done a great job. But let me tell you what this startup is doing. The startup is taking data in real time from the device, using an app connected to a cloud-based algorithm, can actually tell the person if he is already fatigued or he is going to be having a problem in next some time. And that sometime can be 10 minutes, 10 days, 10 months in advance, depending on and doing what we call big data science analytics in the real time. Based on the parameters generated round the clock, it can actually give me an alert that, boss, because of the parameters we have noticed, there is a chance that you might suffer a heart attack. So you should better go to doctor. So predictive analytics, fatigue management is a great tool, and where do we use it now? We use it for people, for environments which work in very high stress. Police, cab drivers, right? People who work day and night, and sometimes they just collapse because they can't actually predict, they can't see that their body is actually reached the zenith. Nobody can tell you except the data. And this is what this startup is doing. The startup is taking the data which is anywhere available and telling you what can be problem with your body in next some time. Cramet. This is a beautiful picture analytics tool. An artificial intelligence based image to image analytics which can look at 2 images and within seconds tell you that there is a difference. And it can also infer, because of artificial intelligence, what is the difference. Where do we use it? We use this for a simple garbage cleaning environment in a city in North India, a city called Mohali. And we could actually prove, and the city could actually certify, that it can tell minute to minute or hour to hour difference between a street looking at the picture and doing picture analytics in real time, whether the garbage has been cleaned or not, without anybody going and physically checking it there. That's the power of picture analytics or image analytics in real time, what this tool does. Example, video analytics. I think we all have been talking about this, but let me tell you a very interesting thing about this. Video has been used for CCTV, video has been used for looking at the car number plates and telling you what the car is doing wrong and challan generation, etc., etc. But let me go one step ahead, and I will tell you what video is doing today. When we were students, and many of these students may not have been born then, but other senior guys might remember, there used to be a TV serial called Star Trek. And in Star Trek, there was a concept that you can beam some person from one place to another. At that time, it was just a concept, imagination, dream. But as technology does, it converts dreams into reality. In 2007, there was a technology which came into this world and which is now widely used, where you can actually beam a person right on the stage. You will never realize that person is not there on the stage. This is called 3D motion graphics. And today, movies, fantasies, events, they are actually using it everywhere. That's another way of looking at how video, which we use, we just saw Ms. Smriti Irani come here. Maybe next time, we can use 3D motion to bring her live on the stage. The only thing you can't do is touch. That's still not possible. Okay, so this is another example, face recognition. Real-time analytics of body and then matching in the city and finding out who is the culprit in real time. When I say real time, within seconds. And let me give you one example, what China has done. China is right now deploying 540 million cameras. 540 million because of the size. And they want to capture every person and use that data to find out if somebody is doing wrong. And you know how much time they will take to complete one scan of 540 million cameras. One scan. 18 seconds. 18 seconds is the time they will take to scan 540 million cameras to pinpoint the person or the object. That is the power of compute today. So what lies ahead? 4 A's: automation, analytics, augmentative reality, and artificial intelligence. This is what is going to create or enhance India 4.0. And again, reiterating, it has to have at the grassroots level. It cannot be successful until we apply this to the last person without a risk. Because when you have an opportunity, you also have a risk. And in this case, the risk is also digital, because the opportunity is also digital. But the good thing is, we are now looking at data in a different way. India Data Protection Law is almost there. GDPR is already there. It's very difficult now to just let somebody use your data because you are the master of your data. You have to give the consent and you have to say yes if somebody wants to use your data. No means no in this case, right? So this is how we are looking at multiple examples. I would like to end this with 1 minute video. If you are able to hear the sound. This is the power of those scanning. Sorry, there's no sound, but you can look at how this scanning happens in real time. I'm sorry about the sound. But this is just a video to show that when you scan images using video from feeds from the camera in real time, and if you are able to do it like this, you can pinpoint people, assets, objects, and you can actually capture the culprits within no time. That is the power what artificial intelligence, data, and IoT is driving in this country. So with that, I would like to conclude. Thank you very much. And thanks IMA for giving me this opportunity. Wonderful, wonderful audience. Thank you and have a great day ahead.